Our keynote speaker, good friend of mine, she reminds me so much of my little sister. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lady. And she's going to come up here and share some things with you all. Without any further delay, she said I always mess up her name. Jaleth Dotson. Jeanette. Sure. You don't want to chat?
That's all right. Okay. Yeah. You guys hear me okay? It's a small enough room. You can hear me okay. I can project my voice. My name is Jaleth Dotson.
I knew it was something.
So he was close. Okay. It's all good. It's not going to stand. Okay.
It's going to make noise along the summer.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone now. Okay. So my name is Jaleth Dotson. I am an entrepreneur by spirit. I have my own business in San Diego. I manage properties for investors, and then me and my husband just started our first church together in an Inland Empire. So I'm now First Lady of Wordwise Ministries Church. And what was pressed upon my heart to speak about today with you all is a very, very serious topic. Very serious topic, and being that we are teaching on respect, I'm going to need the gentleman in the back to put the cell phone on the table so you can pay attention to what I have to say, or put it down, because I need all of your attention, because this is very serious. Okay, this is real. What I'm going to do is first present to you an analogy, and then I'll explain why I'm here. I'd like to introduce to you Brandy.
Hi, Brandy.
This is Brandy.
Nice smile.
And Brandy. So let's open up the bag. So Brandy is her name, and she is a young teenage girl that is full. So the bag symbolizes her life. The bag symbolizes that she has, she's not empty, that she has life in her. She has a book that is full of knowledge. So she's full of knowledge. She's full of ideas. She's full of inspiration. She's full of dedication. She's full of commitment. So Brandy is a very, very happy teenager. The book also represents that she has a desire to be productive, a desire to experience life. She has a smile on her face. She is a very happy teenage girl. And she is, this is her positive self, because she's full. Everybody sees she has stuff inside, right? She's not empty. She's full. And so her positive self likes to help others around the house. Her positive self doesn't get upset when dumb things come up on her Twitter page or her Facebook page. She doesn't get upset by the thumbs that are down, the likes that are the dislikes on her Facebook page or Twitter page or Instagram. And her mom and dad, she understands her mom and dad loves her, and she likes doing things for her mom and her dad. Then a crisis comes along. A crisis sometimes in our life comes along, and it changes our focus, it changes our direction, it changes the way that we think about ourselves. So slowly but surely, Brandy starts to become empty. So as I'm taking the papers out of the bag, what's happening to the bag? What's happening to Brandy as I'm taking papers out?
Empty.
She's becoming empty. She's losing her sense of self. She's losing her identity because a crisis has come along in her life and she doesn't know how to handle. And so what she starts doing is she starts giving up her attributes. She starts closing in on herself. Pretty soon, she empties the bag. So now, how is Brandy? Brandy's empty. So as Brandy starts to, what she's doing is she's withdrawing. She's withdrawing from her family. She's withdrawing from her friends. She's withdrawing from the things that she loves to do. And so So Brandy stops being helpful. She stops liking to help her parents. She stops liking to socialize with her friends. She stops liking to be helpful. She stops liking to be outgoing and to reach out. Brandy starts doing what? What does this look like to you? What does Brandy start to do and eventually become?
Small, folding.
Can you recognize Brandy?
Isolated.
Isolated. Unrecognizable. Tell me something else. She has become consumed within herself. She has become a package that is wrapped up into herself. Now, how big is this compared to her actual size?
Little.
Smaller. It's little. So there's nothing smaller than a package that's wrapped up into oneself. Nothing smaller than a package that's wrapped up into itself. The other thing Brandy is isolated, you mentioned it. She's not reaching out for help. She has been, because she's wrapping up into herself, she's withdrawing from all sorts of help. She's withdrawing from family, withdrawing from friends, and slowly but surely she comes to a state of despair. When Brandy begins to realize that she has become wrapped in herself and she realizes she needs to reach out, and she begins to have someone that notices this, that sees the signs of what's going on in her life, and they begin to reach out to her and connect with her and encourage her. Brandy then starts to do what? She starts to open back up, right? She's no longer folded, right? And the things that she used to enjoy with her friends, her family, her loved ones, her school activities, they begin to become replenished. She begins to become herself again. Does everybody understand? Yes? Okay, so what I'd like to talk to you guys real briefly about a very serious topic that's going on, that has been going on for quite some time, but it has become an epidemic in our society, especially here in America and around the world. What I want to talk to you about is suicide. How many of you guys know someone that has attempted, has committed, or has talked about it, or experienced signs of suicide? Wow. Wow. Is that everybody in the room? Do you see how serious this topic is and why you must pay full attention? Suicide is the leading cause of death among children ages 10 to 15 in America. Suicide is the second leading cause of death from the ages of 10 to 15 in America. Isn't that mind-boggling to you? Second leading cause from the ages 15 to 24 in the entire world. Approximately 800,000 deaths each year in the world from suicide. That's about one person every 40 seconds. That's about one person every 40 seconds. And so what we have to do is we have to be conscious of the people that we surround ourselves with. We have to be conscious of those signs and those symptoms and withdrawal. We have to be responsible. You said it. We have to be responsible not only for ourselves, but we have to be responsible for who? For one another. For each other. For each other. Amen? That's the first lady. Amen? So we have to be responsible for each other. I was a teenage girl at 15 years old that Brandy was me. Brandy is my nickname. So Brandy was me at 15 years old when I began to withdraw and I began to deal with the crisis in my life. And my crisis was I was raised in an abusive household and I was just tired of dealing with it. I was tired of living in that household, dealing with verbal abuse and physical abuse. I was just tired of it. And so I attempted it. But thank God he had another plan for me. He had another plan for me. So it hurts my heart to know that there are, especially now, children 10 to 15 years old that are committing suicide because they don't understand what they were created for. They don't understand what life is all about. They don't even understand what death is. It is not courageous to even attempt something like that. It is a misunderstanding of life. And we have to reach out. We have to get the help that we need. We have to be a source of help for people that are in need. So we have to be responsible for one another. There's no greater deception than self-deception. See, Brandy thought that the world around her was crashing down. Brandy thought that there was no other hope, but there's always hope. There is always hope for every single one of us. We all were created with a purpose, and God is committed to your purpose. A commitment means there's no excuse that is acceptable. That's what commitment is. No excuse that's acceptable. And what I learned in my life is that excuses are only valid to the person that's giving them. They don't mean anything to anyone else. And it doesn't excuse you from not doing what you're responsible for. In the words of William Shakespeare, he has a famous quote that says, out of all the words of tongue and pen, the saddest are, she could have been, he could have been, or I could have been. I want you guys to remember that. The saddest are, he could have been, she could have been, or I could have been. So I'm going to leave you with this. It is attributed to Mother Teresa. It is said that it is written on the wall of the home for children in Calcutta, India. And it's called Do It Anyway. It's called Do It Anyway. And it says, people are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered, but forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives, but be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. But be sincere anyway, or be successful anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you, but be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend your years creating, others could destroy overnight, but create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous, but be happy anyway. The good you do today will be often forgotten, but do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough, but give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them. Anyway.
Let's give her another round of applause.